The happy prince. Who are you? Asked the little swallow. I'm the happy prince, answered the statue. But you don't look happy, said the swallow. You are crying, and I must drown in your tears. I was alive once, said the happy prince sadly. I live in a beautiful palace. All day I play in its magnificent garden, and at night I danced in the great hall. I was very happy there, so my friend called me the happy prince. Did you see the people of your city? Asked the little swallow. No, he replied. There are a high wall around the garden. I never went outside. I never knew about the sorrow and misery outside the wall. The prince continued. When I die, the town council decided to make a state of me. Now I look down on all the ugliness and misery in my city. My heart is made of lead, but I can't stop crying. I thought he was made of solid gold, thought the swallow, but he said nothing. I see many terrible things, said the prince. In the city there is a pool house. Through the window I can see a tired woman sitting at the table. Her face is thin and her hands are rough. She is a dressmaker and is working hard. She is sewing flower on a dress for the queen's maid of honor. The maid of honor is going to wear it to the next court ball. But her little boy is very sick, continued the prince. He has a fever and is crying. She has no money to buy food. She only has river water to give him. Oh, swallow, little swallow, my feet are fixed and I can't move. Please take my ruby from my sword and give it to her. But I must fly to Egypt, said the swallow. My friends are waiting for me. They'll be flying up the Nile River now, and they will be enjoying the warm sun and the lotus flower. Soon see we will see tomb of great Egyptian king. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Please stay with me for one night. Be my messenger. Be my messenger. The boy is ill and his mother is very sad. I don't like the boy. Lips like a swallow. Last summer, two boys threw stone at me. They didn't hit me, but I'm still mad. Swallow looked about the happy prince. He looked sad, so the little swallow felt sorry for him. It's cold here, he said, but I will stay with you for one night, and I will be your messenger. Thank you, little swallow, said the prince. So the swallow took the ruby from the sword. He flew over the white stone angel on the cathedral tower. He passed by palace and heard the sound of music. Then the swallow flew over the port and saw the light on the ship. He went over the heart of the city and saw the merchants selling their goods. At last he came to the dressmaker's house. He looked through the window. The woman looked very tired and had fallen asleep. The little boy was in bed. He was hot and sweating, and mourning in his sleep. The swallow flew in and dropped the ruby next the woman's hand. Then he flew over the boy. He found his wing around the boy's head. I feel cooler, whispered the boy. Maybe I'm getting better. Then he fell into peaceful sleep. The swallow flew back to the happy prince. I have done what you asked, he said. I feel quite warm now, although it's very cold. That is the happiness you feel because you did something good, said the prince. The little swallow was very tired and fell fast asleep at his feet. Next morning, he flew down the river and had a bath. A man was at the river watching the birds. When he saw the swallow, he said, It is unusual to see a swallow in winter. I will fly to Egypt tonight, thought the swallow. He visited a great monument in the city. The swallow enjoyed himself very much. Swallow, little swallow, swallow. When the moon rose in the sky, the swallow flew back to the happy prince. Do you have any message for me to take to Egypt? He asked. I'm almost ready to leave. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Please stay with me for one more night, or I must go, he replied. My friends are waiting for me in Egypt. They will fly to the great waterfall tomorrow. They will see the lion with the emerald green eye. In the morning they will go down to the water's edge to drink. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Please do not leave tonight. Far away in the city, I can see a young man in a cold attic. He is sitting at the desk covered with paper. He is trying to write a play for the director of the theater, but he is too so cold and hungry that he can't write anymore. He has no money to buy food or poor. Please stay one more night. The swallow could not refuse the pleas. I will stay with you for one more night, he said. Do you want me to take another ruby to him? I have no more rubies, sighed the prince. All I have left are two sapphires in my eyes. They came from India many years ago. Swallow, little swallow, please take one to the young man. He can sell it and buy food or firewood. Then he will finish his play. Dear prince, cried the swallow, I can't take your eyes. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Please do as I ask. Please do as I ask. The swallow hesitated for a moment. He flew up to the prince's head and put out one of his eyes. Then he flew away to the full young man's attic. There was a hole in the roof, and the swallow flew in. The young man has buried his head in his hand. He didn't hear the flutter of swallow wings. After the swallow left, he found a beautiful sapphire on his desk. Oh, miracle do happen, he cried happily. Now I can buy food and firewood and finish my play. The next day, Swallow flew down to the harbor. He sat on the mast of a large ship and watched the sailor working. I'm going to Egypt, he shouted, but no one heard him. When the moon rose into the night sky, he flew back to the happy prince. I have come to say goodbye, he said. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Please stay with me one more night. It's winter, replied the swallow. The freezing snow will come soon. In Egypt, the sun is warm on the palm tree. The crocodile lies happily in the mud, and my friends are building their nests in the temple of the Baalbek. But I need your help, said the prince. Dear prince, I must leave you, he said, but I will never forget you. I promise to come back next spring. I will bring you sapphire for your eyes and ruby for your sword. There is a little girl selling match in the street below, said the happy prince. Her matches have fallen into the gutter and now are ruined. Her matches have fallen into the gutter and now they are ruined. Look, she is crying. The little swallow looked down at the girl in the street. Oh, the poor little girl, she must be very cold, said the swallow. He has no shoes or coat, said the prince. Take my other eye and give it to her. Her father will beat her if she goes home with your money. I will stay one more night, said the swallow, but I can't take your other eye. You will be blind. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Please do as I ask. So the bird took the prince's last sapphire eye. He flew down to the little girl and dropped it into her hand. What a pretty piece of glass, cried the little girl. She happily ran home to show her father. The swallow flew back to the prince. You're blind now, he said. I will never leave you. Oh no, little swallow, said the prince. You must go away to Egypt. Your friends are waiting for you. I will be your eye, said the swallow, and I will stay with you forever. The swallow sat at the prince's feet and fell asleep. Oh, it's cold. Animal in Wild Short Story. In The Happy Prince, the little swallow is one of the main characters. In Oscar Wilde's other short story, various kind of animals appear to teach us important lessons about life. Let's find out more. The Nightingale and the Rose. The Nightingale and the Rose, the story of Nightingale. One day, the Nightingale saw a young man crying. He was crying because the woman he was in love with did not love him. Instead, she asked the young man to bring her red rose, but he only found a white rose. So the Nightingale made a red rose for him by piercing her heart on the white rose thorn. The Nightingale sacrificed her life for a young man. The Devout Friend. In A Devout Friend, a dog, a green ringlet, and a water rat were talking about love and devout friendship. The water rat said devoted friendship was more important than love, but the dog and the green ringlet did not agree with him. So the green ringlet told him about the tragic story of two friends. This story makes us think about love and friendship. Loyalty and love. The happy prince was blind, so the swallow sat on his shoulder each day. He told the prince many stories about magical places in the world. He described the Nile River and Sphinx and the desert of Africa. He told the prince about many animals like camel and elephant. The happy prince enjoyed his story. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince, you have seen a lot of interesting, but the most important thing of all is the suffering of people. Fly over the city and tell me what you see. The swallow became the prince's eye and flew over the city. He saw the rich people living comfortably in their big house. He saw the beggars sitting at their gate, waiting for a scrap for food. And he saw the pale face of starving children looking out from the dark street. Under the bridge, he saw two little boys hugging each other. They are trying to stay warm, but the watchman yelled at them, "Get up here! You can't stay here!" Then he chased them out into the cold rain. The swallow flew back and told the prince everything. The happy prince was very sad. "I'm covered with fine gold," he said. "Please take my gold and give it to the poor people." The swallow peeled off the fine gold and took it to the poor people. When his gold had all gone, the prince looked gray and shabby, but the people in the street had a big smile on their face. "We have bread now," they shouted happily. This made Happy Prince happy again. Heavy snow fell on the city. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder. But he loved the prince and knew he would never leave him. He ate the crumb of bread outside the bakery. He tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings, but he knew that he would die soon. He flew up to the prince's shoulder for the last time. "Goodbye, dear prince," he whispered. "May I kiss you before I go?" "It's time for you to leave this place," said the prince. "I'm happy you are going to Egypt. You have stayed here too long. Yes, you may kiss me." "I'm not going to Egypt," said the swallow. "I'm going to the house of Death. Death is the brother of sleep, isn't it?" He kissed the happy prince's lip. Then he fell down dead at his feet. At a moment, a strange cracking sound came from inside the statue. The prince's lead heart had broken in two. The next morning, the mayor and some town councillors were walking through the city. They looked up at the state and were surprised. "Look at the happy prince!" cried the mayor. "He looks very dull and shabby." "Yes, he looks very shabby," said the town councillor. "The ruby was fallen out his word," said the mayor. "The sapphire from his eyes are gone, and he is no longer covered in gold. It looked like a beggar. It's no longer beautiful, so he is no longer useful," said one of the town councillors. Look, there is that bird at his feet, said the mayor. No birds are allowed to die here. We must do something about the statues. The following day, the statue of Happy Prince was pulled down. The mayor held a meeting with the town council. He had to decide what to do with the statues. We must have another statue, said the mayor. I think the statue should look like me. The statue was taken to the foundry. This is strange, said one of the foundry workers. The statue lid heart is cracked, but it will not melt. Let's throw it away. The worker threw the Happy Prince's broken heart into the garbage. It lay next to the poor and swallowed. It lay next to the poor that swallowed. For above in heaven, God commanded one of his angels, Bring me the two most precious things in the city, he said. The angel flew down the city. He returned with the lead hurt and that swallow. God was very pleased with the angel. You have chosen well. Chosen well, said God. They are truly the most precious thing in the city. In my garden of paradise, the little bird will sing forever, and in my city of gold, the happy prince will live forever. Oh, it's very sad. I'm very caught. After the story, it's so cold and hungry that he can't write anymore. It's so cold and hungry. I'm so full and warm that I can't awake anymore. You flew a long way to here yesterday. I'm sure you were really tired. Yes, I'm so tired that I could sleep well last night. It's so cold. I'm so tired that I could sleep well last night. I'm so full that I got to write a letter to you. Miracle do happen. Finally, I did finish my plays. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. I'm glad that I could help you. I do finish my homework. I do finish my homework. Miracle do happen. I do finish my homework. I do practice English. I do eat some food. She must be very cold. Our friend left for East last night. Oh, you must be lonely. You must be lonely. You must be late. You must go first. You must do the thing. The statue of the happy prince was pulled down. Where did your red ruby on the swallow go? It was taken by a little swallow. It gave it to the poor man. Flying. Stop, bus stop. Girl. Thank you. Girl. Man. Cracked. Melt. Cracked. Melt. Cracked. Melt. Cracked. Okay, that's all. I finished my reading library book, Happy Prince. Okay, and today is Friday and tomorrow is the weekend. So I wish you have good time, good weekend with your family. Okay, bye.